This is Mark Schofield from Inside the Pylon with the debut episode of Reading Progressions. This is a new video series over at Inside the Pylon, very similar to First Sound. In First Sound, I break down draft-eligible quarterbacks. Here at Reading Progressions, I'm going to look at the NFL, break down some of the guys playing the position at the pro level, taking a look at things they do well, things they might do poorly. And what better way to start a new series than with another debut, and that's the debut of Kansas City Chiefs rookie quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to look at 5 plays from his debut against the Denver Broncos. We're going to see both the peril that is still there with Mahomes as a quarterback, some of the stuff that we highlighted in the pre-draft process, but perhaps the almost unparalleled promise that he has as a quarterback. We're going to start with his first career interception of all places. This comes early in the game. It's early in the first quarter on a 1st and 10 play in plus territory. As you can see, they're at the Denver 34-yard line. Now, what comes on this play is we get a dino concept, double post concept. Post here from the inside receiver and a post on the outside using what we call a dino stem, where he shows corner route and then breaks to the post. Now, Denver runs cover 1 here. You can see some of the coverage cues, free safety in the middle of the field. They actually started this play with the running back to the outside. He motions in. He gets trailed here by the safety. So Mahomes knows pre-snap that he has cover 1, man coverage here. And also other coverage indicators, look at the cornerbacks here on the outside as well. They're not looking at the middle of the field. They're looking at their receivers. So this is going to be man coverage. When you're running this pass concept against a single high safety look, cover 1, cover 3, what you're really trying to do is put this guy in a bind. Because the inside post, which he's going to have to respect, he can sort of squat on this if he wants. But if he does, and you then throw this deep post behind him as he cheats down, he's going to have to make sort of an awkward turn and bail to get back underneath that route. So as a quarterback, you're really trying to influence him. You can use this inside post, get him to bite down, create some space to throw this outside post pattern. If you want to learn more on the dino concept, I'd recommend an old post from Matthew Bowen, who's now over at ESPN, but he did a post over at National Football Post on this concept. It's great to sort of look at it. Now, as this play unfolds, what we see here, we get a blitz here, but it's blocked up pretty well. Mahomes looks right away at the safety here, and then he's going to come to this inside post route. And with the safety dropping deep, there is a window to throw this. Receiver's got to step here. So this, you can understand why he makes this throw. In a second, I'll tell you why he might have been better off waiting. As you look outside here, the receiver on the outside post is starting his dino stem here before breaking this way. So at the moment, this technically looks covered. But if you want to throw it, you got to trust that he's going to get underneath that. But Mahomes here, he's already pulled the trigger on the inside post route. Now, if you flash your eyes outside, you'll see we are getting the inside leverage on the outside post route. But this is, you can understand why he throws this here. Receiver gets a step, you've got the safety over the top. But it needs to be a really good throw with this guy lurking. The problem is the pass is high and behind him, and it sails over his head into the free safety for the interception. Making things worse, now you can see on the outside, not only do we have the inside leverage that you'd like to see, but with the free safety over here, he's influenced to the inside post. There's a lot of space here to throw that route. So from where I sit, I would have liked Mahomes to be a little bit more patient here, just a hair, let the concept come together, throw the outside post route, particularly with this safety lurking over the inside one. That's what the route's designed to do, is influence that free safety, make him make a decision, and you throw off of it. He gets pressured a little bit, sure, but I think he had time to make that throw. As it stands, he had to make a perfect throw to execute this play, and it was tough to do. Here's a near interception. Another sort of those gunslinger type plays that if you're a fan of Mahomes or a fan of the Chiefs, or if you're one of his coaches, you're going to have to live with. This comes with under 2 minutes to go, again, in plus territory. It's another 1st and 10 situation. Spacing concept underneath here with basically curl routes, including from the running back. But then you have Y detached here in a trips look. He'll run a seam. what's really interesting about this play, Mahomes has this curl route if he wants to throw it. Denver shows two high safeties, but they buzz this guy down into man coverage over Harris. Get man coverage across the board. This corner plays off. He doesn't want to get beat deep. So Mahomes has this curl route if he wants to take it. And in fact, he starts to throw it. As you can see, he starts to pull the trigger. It's there. By doing that, he influences this safety down towards it, which moves him away from the seam route. So all of this looks good if he wants to come back and throw this seam route. I don't know why he hesitates in here and pulls it down. I think he sees him start to break and wants to make the safe decision, which I respect and understand. I think he still could have gotten this in there. But okay, so he pulls it down. Now, I think if he simply resets here and then makes the throw he eventually does, he has a chance for a big play. But instead, he almost starts to bail and then wheels back around and gets himself into a bit of trouble. Now, he picks up Harris here. He's got time. If he wants to make this throw, which now that we're in this situation, go ahead and make it. I think he really needs to reset himself and make a throw, because you're asking to make a 55-yard throw in this situation to win the game. It's there. But you got to don't forget your mechanics here. Don't forget what you learned as a kid. Set and throw here. Instead, what we see is Mahomes trusting his arm almost to a fault. And yes, given his arm strength and what he can do throwing a football, I understand why he might do it. But if he sets his feet and uses proper mechanics, he can make this throw. Instead, he basically makes it on the move. And that's a tough throw to make. It's almost like a jump pass. And it gets underthrown. It brings the trail safety back into play, who almost intercepts it. We'll see it again from the end zone angle. See, I wonder if it's this guy that makes him pull it down, if it's somebody under here, but for whatever reason, he doesn't throw it. Maybe it is the defender here coming off. So he comes off of it. I think now if he just simply resets here, as he's got time, he can make that deep throw. But he wheels back around. Now that he sees it, again, you've got time. Set yourself and make the throw. This is a very awkward throw-in platform to try to throw this deep down the field late in the play. He has incredible arm talent, and he almost pulls it off. But I think if he took that extra step, got himself gathered, this would have been the play to really win the game. Okay, now let's talk about some of the really good stuff I saw. I want to talk about 3 plays. First, there's this play from earlier in the game. There are some things you cannot coach, you cannot teach. There's just God-given talent, basically. That's what we see here. A deep curl concept on a 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 14. Y releases to the flat. Denver blitzes. He's going to have a free rusher in his face. Watch as Mahomes escapes, eludes, and fires. He makes this throw with a defender wrapped around his ankles. This is a free rusher. He's got to make a move to get this pass off. Looking at the blocking scheme, this might be a situation where, as it looks to be blocked up, I don't think anybody misses an assignment. There are simply some plays where, as a quarterback, the guy that comes free is your responsibility. You've got to throw hard off of him. This might be one of those schemes where he's unaccounted for in the protection. He's the guy that you've got to take care of as a quarterback. But now what you've got to do, since it's 3rd and long, the play is going to be developing a little bit more slowly. You've got to make him miss somehow. A simple little slide, and then with a defender wrapped around his waist, again, another awkward platform throw, drills it in there. Before last year's draft, I did a video with Matthew Waldman, who does the rookie scouting portfolio. And, he and I, at various times during that video, simply giggled about Patrick Mahomes and his arm talent. And Waldman compared him to a shortstop, which I think is a great sort of comparison, because as a shortstop, you're asked to make some awkward platform throws all the time. And this is one of those type throws. Feet aren't really set, defender wrapped around your waist and lower body, can't really step into it. There's like maybe 5 people on the planet that can make a throw like that, and Patrick Mahomes is one of them. 2 more plays I'll look at. And when I start to try and uncover, how a quarterback is developing, younger quarterbacks are developing in the National Football League, I look for signs that the game is slowing down for them. I look for indicators that, they're not behind the play. And one of them is sort of making anticipation throws. There are times when younger quarterbacks are more see it, throw it type passers. They have to really see the route break open and be open and stay open before they trust themselves to make the throw. It's something that doomed me when I played. I was a see it, throw it guy, and there's a reason why I was stapled to the bench for most of my college career. Here, however, we're starting to see some anticipation from Mahomes, starting to see the game speed up for him. This is a play matching vertical routes on the outside, and then you have a crosser from Wilson, quick route to the flat from wide, sets up basically a smash concept here on the backside. Denver blitzes, but watch how Mahomes stands in there and makes this throw anticipating Wilson's route. See, he's making the throw now. Here's Wilson. He's basically just one step on him. He sees the safety deep who has to respect these routes. Y's about to break to the outside. He doesn't wait for this to really come open. He doesn't wait for Wilson to accelerate away, partially because he doesn't have time. But this is an example of anticipating a route and throwing it open. And he puts it right on the money, right before this defender can peel off. It's an incredible throw. Here we see again the blitz. Running back tries to come across and pick it up, but it's tough. Doesn't quite get there. Here's the route from Wilson. He's reading it. He sees that corner squatting over here, so he knows that this should set up nicely. But again, anticipates it well. Defender's in trail position, and he puts it in perfectly. That's a great throw. Here's my favorite example of anticipation. This is a beautiful route on the outside from Robinson here. It's kind of a stutter and go and then hitch. So it's a double move type route. Defender's playing off coverage. Watch when Mahomes pulls the trigger. See, there's the stutter and go. Mahomes is already pulling the trigger. This guy has yet to really make his break. And because Mahomes puts it on him and anticipates it so well, this receiver is in a good position to make the catch. Defender recovers well, but you can't cover that. When the route is anticipated that well, you cannot recover and make a play on the football. So those were some of the plays that I really liked from Mahomes. Yes, he threw the interception, and I may quibble with the read, but you can understand why he threw it. I think he had a chance to make a huge play late in the game on that throw to Harris. He just needed to set himself a little bit better. But we're seeing some of that arm talent. We're seeing some of the ability to make anticipation throws. I think this was a great debut from Patrick Mahomes. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you really have to be excited about what he has to offer. I'm Mark Schofield from Inside the Pylon. Thanks for watching the debut episode of Reading Progressions. I'll have more of these as we get sort of through the off season and start looking ahead to the 2018 football season.